Hey guys, it's Penelope in London. We've got Mercury retrograde at the moment, and we've also had a new moon in the sign of Libra today. So I'm going to run through that with you. And if you wanted me to look at your chart with you, then I do that. I'm working by donation till the end of the year. So you can contact me on that if you want to do some work and understand what's going on for you. I'm going to show you, this is the chart we're going to be looking at, and I'm going to come off camera in a minute so I can focus on the solar fire as well. I'm going to show you solar fire. I'm going to show you my chart briefly here. And the reason I'm showing you is that you can see, if I get my marker, so exciting for me because it happens but once a year. You can see here that I've got Venus just on my ascendant today. So I feel very good about that. And I also had the new moon for me happened in the sign of my 11th house just here. It just tipped in, although it looks there, it's just tipped into my 11th house. So that's to do with groups and hopes and dreams and higher aspirations, and to do with others as well, but also to keep some individuality around that. I mean, it means a lot more than that, but it gives you an idea. So you want to see on your own chart where that actually fell for you. So I had a few squares going on to that, semi-squares, so, or octiles you might call them. And there's a lot to learn in astrology, and it's a beautiful tool to understand our own psychology. And in my view, it's part of the work of Jung as well. Carl Gustav Jung used astrology to understand, help people to understand themselves, and also to look at the shadow. And the chart will be able to guide us. As if we look at it, it's not, the planets aren't doing anything to us. It's what we're feeling inside is literally transposed onto this chart. So that's what we're looking at. And now I'm going to come off camera and I'm going to go back to this chart now that we're going to work with, and then I'll pop over to solar fire in a while after I've looked at this. Okay, just going to come off camera. Okay, so I can focus better. That's the way I like to work. Instead of seeing myself sometimes when you're doing this work, it can be distracting. So what we have, if you see here, I'll make sure I've got the right chart shared. So, okay, so you can see here that today, it's already happened, was the new moon in Libra. And I'm going to talk about what Libra means, but you can see that the moon was conjunct the sun, which it is a new moon, also conjunct Mars. Mars is our direction in where we're going in life and our impulses as well. Then we've got Mercury retrograde, and you can see that all of this ultimately is in a square to, although this is moving into a square here, it's touching in with Pluto, and Pluto is about transformation, and Pluto is just gone direct, I do believe. If I've got my time right, let's see here. It's just gone direct. So this is a big shift that we are experiencing. If we look here, you can see Pluto is actually stationed, and it will be moving forward in direct in a couple of days. And this is very meaningful. We've got, when a few days ago, Pluto was square to Mercury. So this defined that we were going to have things uncovered, and this is still going to be playing out for some time, because that Mercury is going to go retrograde back to 10 degrees, I believe. And then when it does, it will go forward again, and then it will hit into a square when it reaches 24. Even before that, it's, you know, the orb, it's going to be in square. So things are being uncovered, and Pluto direct, well, you'll probably feel that kicking in into the psyche in the coming weeks. And then we've also got Saturn will be going direct as well. So a lot of planets are going to start moving direct in the coming few weeks. I haven't got the dates of all of them here, but so this square is tension, and tension is ultimately something that can be good for us because it helps us to get moving. So we've also got this opposition to Chiron, which is our wound, and the wounding that we feel that's internal and that people can't see, but we feel it very deeply. So we may put on a mask to the world and get on with our lives, but deep, when we're by ourselves, we really feel this wound in us. And this is something that we're all trying to work through and transcend in as we go through life. And we have the Chiron return that happens around age 49, 50. So we do know also that that sun is conjunct Mars. Let me tell you about Libra first, and then I will go to solar fire, because I'm going to push the chart forward so you can see what we've got coming up. So we have a new moon, which is a new phase, a new beginning. It's there's some impulsiveness, you know, knowing, and because we've closed a cycle, but as we go into a new cycle of the moon, 28 days before it reaches a full moon and then a new moon again. So Libra, we're looking at other when we're dealing with other, and we've got to remember the moon is also in Libra at this time as well on a new moon. It's where we're social, it's our objective awareness, it's to do with polarity, extremes, it's to do with listening, it's to do with denial, it can be the mask, it's relativity, it's also others' needs, it's not just our own needs, it's projection, relatedness, it can be codependency, it's where we want to please others, that it's about choices and weighing things up and being, you know, learning to be balanced within our exchanges. It's also where we can flirt, there's beauty there. It can also be surface and shallow, there can be half-truths. It's where we can be boundaryless. I mean, that's the codependency, where we have boundaryless. It can be damaged trust, intimacy. It can be the philanderer, idealism. And it's about appearance as well, how we want to be seen. And also comparison. And also we've got relativity as well. And when we look then at Aries, so we've got a polarity in evolutionary astrology. We do look at the polarity because, you know, it's got 12 signs. We go around the chart, we've got the polarity, and that Chiron there, you can see all of this is hitting that Chiron, and I will tell you what that means. But if we look at Aries and we look at Chiron in Aries, we've got anxiety of separation. It's the loner. Aries, it's war, you know, it's in the sign. I'm not saying that we're going to have a war. I definitely feel like we've been through one the last year and a half. I have to say, it's been, you know, with lockdowns and all of the things that's been going on, it feels like quite warlike to me, that's for sure. And not being allowed to say certain things or certain words. It's like, it's incredible. And I'm watching people do this and play it out, that we're not able to express ourselves fully. And for me, that's very difficult, having come from trauma where I only got to speak up around 2017, 2018, and then had 2 years of trauma psychoanalysis to really speak up. And now I've been shut down. So it feels very restrictive for me personally, but I'm finding my own way of spreading my own message and speaking my own truth. So when we look at Aries, we can have narcissism, self-interest, it's the warrior, it's the pioneer, it's the destroyer as well. It's the expression of will, you know, it's the first sign of the zodiac. Look here, Aries. Chiron is the wounding, but you know, it happens to be traveling through Aries, and it's at 10 degrees at this time. It's where we want to be superhuman, Aries. It's our identity, it's freedom, you know, we want to do our own thing. It's our independence, it's the loner, and it's the self. And it's also our desires, you know, what I desire, what I want. If you think the first sign and you think of a baby, it's like what they want what they want. They want their ice cream. They want, you know, to stay up late and all that stuff they want to do. And then it can be spontaneous enthusiasm as well, because, you know, we'll be leaders there. It's pioneering. The Libra moon here, you can see here, the moon in Libra is where we're looking for safety in relationship, and where we have the need. We want to make others happy, and we want a rich social life. If we have the moon, if you have the moon in Libra, and also it's where we find ourselves, and that we want to, you know, we want things that satisfy us. We like beauty, and we want balance and harmony. You know, it doesn't mean we have it. It means that we're seeking that. And also a strong need for balance and harmony. So if you have that, you might understand what that means. I have a Gemini moon myself and Gemini sun, and it's a desire to keep things nice as well. But we can see that desire to keep things nice and easy, and we've got that Chiron in Aries over there. It's like we're really trying to balance this out. And we don't want to be afraid of who we really are. We really want to be who we are with this Libra moon. And it's also, you know, not just about what's expected of us. You know, we need to be ourselves as well, because we do have innate talents, and we need to be able to show those too. And it's where we can influence the atmosphere around us with our with who we are. We can influence others with our beauty and also with the comforting presence. So going on from that, I will now basically look at this. What I'm going to do is tell you the close conjunctions, or we know that the sun and the moon are conjunct, and this is about individualism, but it's also emotions and feelings, because the moon is our emotions and feelings. And it's also, then we've got the sun conjunct Mercury. And with this, it's where we're able to be subjective and creative, and we can express our ideas, and it can make us very artistic. But remember, it's retrograde at the moment. So this is internal, working out internally. And we basically have a situation there where we rewind, release, review, rewind, release, relax, not maybe in that order, but we go inward. We're going inward. But it's fascinating, this Pluto has moved, gone direct, and we can see the trine there. We've got the trine from Saturn to the moon, and we've also got a sextile going on here, and we've got this moon is also trine to the Lilith at the moment as well. So if we could pop down here, you can see all of the aspects. So I do suggest you go to astro-seek.com, because you can bring up your own chart here. See here? Birth chart. Beautiful tool. And you can begin to learn, but it doesn't read the chart for you, but it gives you an idea. So you see here, look, the moon conjunct Mercury, it's the moon conjunct Mars, and the moon is trine Jupiter, and the moon is trine Saturn, and the moon is in conjunct quincunx to Uranus. So that is to do with breaking free of limitations. So there's something we can't see at the moment emotionally, and you can see this up here. It's not showing on the chart, but that is 13 degrees and 13 degrees. That is 150 degrees away, which gives it an inconjunct. And what I will do, if I move over to solar fire, you will see it clearly. So new share. Right, so you see here, you can see spotlight. So watch this. You can see that moon. In fact, I'm going to have to move this back because this is the chart of right now. And the new moon happened earlier today. So let's get this aligned. That's 17 degrees, that's now. So go back hours. We had 13 degrees, and that's 13:26. So let's go back by minutes. I love my solar fire. I have a story about this as well, how I learned to use it. So we want to go to 24 or 23, I think, 24. There you go. So you can see this here, and you can see that the moon is got, and there's an inconjunct going on here with the sun and the moon. And, the inconjunct is where we basically, there's something not seen. It's a very interesting energy that, I'm learning deeper as well as I go, but an inconjunct is something that can't be seen, but there's some benefits there that we're not going to quite know about yet, because the moon's going to move quite quickly. The sun is in that inconjunct for some time. We look at the moon, if we look at the sun and the sun on the moon, we know that that's a new moon. But if we look at the moon conjunct Mars, it symbolizes instinctive awareness. And we know that the Mars is our drive and the moon is our feelings. So there's a fusion there of emotions and action. And we can also feel like physical activity is enhanced with this to get things done. But as we see, we've got this, I'm interested in this Chiron currently, because it really is the opposition, Mars opposition Chiron is probably more difficult, because we've got this drive, but then we've got the wounded healer. And then we're trying to basically, we want acknowledgement of this concealed. We need to acknowledge our concealed wounds so that we overcome them or integrate them. And it can be hidden stuff that's been walled away. And these woundings, early woundings regarding how we initiate and confront others. And it can be painful, there can be a lot of pain, and a lot of confrontation at this time because of this. And as this moves on throughout the month, we'll see how this is going to play out. So what I'm going to do is go days ahead. So this is, we see the moon that's new here, and look to where it is in your house, because it's a new cycle, a new beginning, and it's to do with the house that it's in. So for me, it's my hopes and dreams and groups of people. And if we go days ahead, and I'm going to go 5 days ahead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see the sun is moving, and we've still got Mercury is still retrograde. So we'll go another 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Mercury's back at 10. We go ahead, then it stations on the 18th of October. So it's going to station, and then it's going to go forward again. And then when it gets to 24 degrees, it's back in a square with Pluto. So something's being uncovered at this time, as we can well see by the media. And the media isn't the full picture and the full news. We do know that to be true. It's like we get statistics and all sorts of things thrown our way. But again, you know, we don't know the absolute truth of all things. But we know that the Mars is also, let's see, and then that Mercury actually will be in opposition to Chiron again, that wounding. So we got the Mercury opposition to Chiron, and we got the wound, and we got communication. And this is around the 18th of October. The Mercury square Pluto, we know that Mercury is the planet of communication. So let's watch this happen here. So we go forward by days. I'm going to show you when this square kicks in again. So when it hits the 2nd of November, it's going to be in square to Pluto. And this is really the planet of communication, and Pluto is transformation. And when we have this, we're covering, we all through this period up until this date, the 2nd of November, we're uncovering something that's hidden information. Now we can see clearly, some of us clearly feel that there's some hidden information, and some of us just think that everything's normal. This is what I'm seeing going on out there. But I think more people are clocking on that there's stuff that we don't know, that we need to know and be aware of. And people are beginning to request this knowledge. They want the knowledge of what's going on. For instance, I wanted to know a particular thing about, you know, the ingredients of a particular thing. And I've asked for paperwork on that, which I won't go into now, but I'll give you, that's an example. You might get my drift of what I'm saying here. So we're analyzing psychological matters, and can help to deflect the intensity, and will allow us to move forward into healing outmoded patterns. So we've got an outmoded pattern going on of communication as well. We're not allowed to say things on social media, or certain things from misinformation and such like. So as we move through this, hopefully we'll be able to get to a level where we can uncover something and begin to transcend the secrecy that allows us to make better decisions for ourselves. And we may feel like, you know, we're playing detective at this time, and also seeing the motivations of others with this Mercury square to Pluto. And I feel that there's some support here. But what I would say is that as we move into then the next new moon, I haven't missed a full moon here, by the way, but you see this coming up here, the moon will become, if we in fact don't go a day, if I go hours, see this moon here, this is the 6th, this is the Scorpio. If we take it to 12, here, 11, 12. Okay, so this moon, new moon, is on the 4th of November. And what's concerning for a lot of astrologers here is this going on, this opposition to Algol. And also, let me see here, this is, oh, not Algol, yeah, Algol too, let me see. Actually, it's to Hamal, okay? And also to Uranus here. So we've got this opposition, which is breaking free of limitations. I know I'm jumping ahead on this moon, but I really wanted to show you this. And then Mars and Mercury are conjunct. And then also, I will say that Venus would have moved over the South Node, which is interesting as well, the last week. Or it's happening now, I shouldn't say that. I might go back and have a look. But we can see that the energy is that something is being uncovered, and that we want to break free of limitations. That will also then Saturn will be going direct, and then it will hit in again at the end of the year with a square with this Uranian energy, which is breaking free of limitations, and it's our needs because it's in Venus. And then Jupiter you can see is direct then as well. You know, I'll be making more videos when these planets move direct, but this gives you an idea. So I hope this is a bit helpful, but I do feel that a lot of astrologers have said that this is very ominous, if that's the right word. I'm going to go back. I want to see this Mercury go over the South Node. So we're going to go back by days. This is, you can see here I'm moving. Watch Venus there, Venus there. Okay, so this is actually hasn't gone over yet. We're at the 6th of October. We're at the 6th here. So if we go 7, 8, 9, there you go, it's gone over. So I had this a few days ago. This can be quite karmic on the South Node, where we're putting something to rest karmically, or there's some sort of loss or something. But, you know, it could be an emotional thing, but we definitely have something going on here, and the moon is involved as well, which is our emotions. So it will be interesting. It's in the 9th house. It's in Sagittarius. So this is law, it's justice, it's higher education. So let's see how this plays out. I hope this is interesting. And if you've got any comments, leave them below in the comments box and let me know where it's fallen for you and what house. That would be good to know too, if you want to tell me. Okay, catch you later. Thanks for watching.